Right. Welcome to online classes DU Nalgonda. We are continuing the progressions topic. In our previous session, we learned about nth term of an AP. What is that? Nth term? An. Nth term is represented by An. An is equals to A plus n minus 1 into D, where A is the first term, n is the number of terms, D is the common difference, and An is not. An is what? This is the nth term. Okay. Now, if you understand this concept, you will able to do the exercise problems in your textbook, that is second exercise. Now, this is also called as general term of AP. This is called as nth term of AP, also called as general term of AP. If n number of terms are there in AP, then An becomes what? An becomes last term. Therefore, sometimes depending on the numbers, An can also be called as last term and denoted by L. So, this term generally we call this as nth term of AP. It is also called as general term of AP. If only n number of terms are there in that AP, then that becomes what? Last term. If n number of elements are there, only n number of elements are there in AP, that becomes the last. If m number of elements are there in that AP, what is the last term? Am. Okay, like that, depending on the terms, that becomes last term also. Okay. So, now you have to understand what are the terms here given and what are the terms involved in this formula. Based on these things only, the second exercise is based. So, you can answer, if you understand this properly, you can answer those questions. Now, let us move on to the second exercise, 6.2. In exercise 6.2, the first question, a table is given, serial number A, D, N, An. I told you, these are all the things involved in the nth term. So, out of these 4 unknown things, some of them will be given and the remaining you have to find out. Like this, see, first one 7, 3, 8 and there is a dash given here. And in the second one, minus 18 is given as A and a dash is given, the blank is given here, n is given as 10 and An is given as 0. Let us try to understand these two situations and you have to find out these blanks, means you have to fill these blanks by finding the values. Now, how to find these values? Let us try to understand, try to solve this. So, there is a relation between all these things, that is the nth term relation. An is equals to A plus n minus 1 into D, this is the formula. So, you substitute the values given and find out the value which is not given here by observing this first problem. So, in this what is given? A is given plus n is given, n is 8 minus 1 and d is also given 3, and you are required to find what? an. Implies an is equals to 7 plus 8 minus 1 is 7, 7 into 3. So, 7 plus 7 3 is a 21, which is equals to 28. So, an is how much? 28. In this manner, using this nth term formula, you can find the things which were not given. Now, let us move on to this second situation. So, this is the solution for first one. Okay. Now, second solution. What are given here? A is equals to minus 18, d is equals to, you have to find out this, n is equals to 10, an is equals to 0. Now, what is the formula we have to use? Nth term formula. An is equals to a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay, substitute the values which are given. Here an is 0, a is minus 18 plus n is 10 minus 1, d you have to find out. So, write d as it is. Now, you have to find the value of d from the given equation. 0 is equals to minus 18 plus, you multiply this, how much is this? 10 minus 1, 9d. Okay, there is 0 this on left hand side, right hand side there is there are two terms minus 18 and 9d. You transpose minus 18 to this side, left hand side, what do you get? Minus 18 becomes plus 18, which is equals to 9d. Next step, you transpose 9 also, that is 18 divided by 9, 9 ones are, 9 twos are. What do you get? D is equals to 2. Ultimately, the answer is 2. Common difference is 2. Like this, you can find the missing values in the first question given in your second exercise. Next, we will move on to the second question. You try to solve all those things which were given there in the first problem, which I didn't do. Now, let us move on to the second question. See here, find the first one, 30th term of the AP 10, 7, 4 dot. Here is an infinite sequence, infinite arithmetic progression. Why are we calling this as infinite? Because there are dots at the end, means what? And so on, this arithmetic progression will continue. We do not know the last value. So, here is an arithmetic progression given and he is asking us to find out 30th term. Then immediately you should understand how to denote 30th term. We already know how do we denote the first term? A subscript 1, A sub 1. Like that, 30th term can be written as A sub 30, means at the right side bottom you have to write 30, A 30. What does this mean? This means 30th term of that AP. Now, A 30 is equals to what? Formula. You have to write A 30th formula. Can you write? Look here. A plus n is 30 here. A n, we know the formula, A n is equals to A plus n minus 1 into d. So, we are asked to find out the 30th value, means what? N is equals 30. N is given. A n is equals 30, A plus n minus 1. Here, what are the given things? Let us write first of all given things. N is given, n is how much? 30 given. A is how much? 10, the first term. D, you know the formula, A2 minus A1, this is A2, this is A1, this is A3 and so on. which is equal to 7 minus 10. 7 minus 10 is how much? Minus 3. So, before writing these things, you first write down these things which were given. So, in the question or from the question, I could write what is n. He is asking us the 30th term, means the n is equals to 30. The first term in the arithmetic progression is a, we denote that as a and given as 10, and we have to find the common difference. D is equals to a2 minus a1. So, that gives us minus 3. Now, you know the nth term formula, write down the nth term formula and substitute the values in this formula. In the place of n, write down 30. In the place of a, write down 10. In the place of n, write down 30 minus 1 into d. D is nothing but minus 3, write in brackets. That means this into this multiplication. Okay. Here 10 plus 30 minus 1 is 29, 29 into minus 3. What is the value of 29? 3s are. So, find out the value of 29 into 3. 3 9s are 27, 3 2s are 6, 8, 87. So, here this is having minus sign, therefore, 10 minus 87. 10 minus 87. Okay. Now, so we got how much? 10 minus 87 becomes what? Minus 77. Therefore, A30 is equals to minus 77. So, what is the 30th term in this progression? Minus 77 is the 30th term. So, in this manner you can do the second question also. What is he asking in the second question? Find the 11th term of the AP. Okay. Here 30th term was asked, next question 11th term is asked. So, you can do it on your own. Now, let us move on to the third question. What is the third question? I will read it for you. So, third question is find the respective terms for the following APs. APs means arithmetic progression. Find the respective terms for the following APs. The first one is given as A1 is equals to 2, A3 is equals to 26, and he is asking us to find out A2. In every question, he will ask in the question itself, like this is general for all the things. Find the respective terms. What do you understand by respective terms? Means in this question he is asking A2, you have to find the A2, that's all. So, A1 is equals to 2, A3 is equals to 26, he is asking us to find out A2. A2 means what? Second term. First term given, third term is given, he is asking us to find the second term. How to find this? So, simple, you have to write the nth term formula. An is equals to A plus n minus 1 into d. You know that A1 is nothing but A. A3 you have to write according using this formula, write what is A3, substitute the value, find out. Means for finding second term you need what? For finding second term you need A and common difference. So, first term is known. To find the second term, you have to know or you have to find out the common difference. For finding the common difference, you have to use this one. A3 is equals to 26 is given. Using this, you can find out the common difference, and using common difference, you can find out the second term. Now, A3, if I write in the place of n, there is 3, no, you have to write like this. Formula becomes what? A plus 3 minus 1 into d. Means whenever third term is given, you can directly write like this, A plus 2d. If fourth term is given, how can we write? A plus 3d. If seventh term is given, A plus 6d, you can write like that. Okay, directly you can write. Every time you need not substitute in this. Just initially I am am telling you because you will understand this, and you should able to write like this. Whenever these are given, you should able to write directly like this. A3 is equals to A plus 2D. Using this, A3 value is given. Using this, you can write like this, implies A plus 2D is equals to how much? 26. A3 is nothing but A plus 2D. A plus 2D is nothing but 26 given. Now substitute the value of A. Where do you get this A? A1 is given. A1 is nothing but A. So substitute the value of A. 2 plus 2D is equals to 26, implies 2D is equals to 26 minus 2, implies 2D is equals to 24. We got an equation in the terms of D only. From this you can find out D. This implies D is equals to 24 by 2. 2 ones are 2, 2 wells are is equals to 12. So we found D. What is the value of D? 24. You know A1 is nothing but A, which is equals to 2. Now we are required to find out A2. A2 is equals to, you can write directly, A2 is equals to A plus D. How? Using this formula. A2 in the place of n, if you write 2 or substitute do, A2 is equals to A plus 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 into D is nothing but D. A2 is equals to A plus D. So you are required to find out A2 means A2 is equal, substitute the values of A and D here, you will get directly the answer 2 plus 24, therefore 26. So A2 is equals to 26. What is the series? You can write down the series. You can write down the progression. What is the progression? 2 AP is equals to 2, first term is 2, second term is 26, something was D is equals to 24. I made a mistake. D is 12. I wrote here 24. Some mistake was made. D is 12. If you add this, you will get 2 plus 12. 2 plus 12 is how much? 14. So second term is 14 and third term is 26 and so on. So what is the difference between two terms? Here common difference is 12. So 2 plus 12 is 14, 14 plus 12 is 26 and so on. Okay, like this if you understand this formula, and from this formula there are in this formula there are 4 unknown values. He will give some unknown values and he will ask you to find out the remaining which are missing. Okay, right. This is I think this is which fifth bit in the third question. This is not second one, this is fifth one in the third question. Okay, let us try to find out those things which were asked. What was given? Second term was given, sixth term was given, and you are asked to find out first term, third term, fourth term and fifth term. So the terms which are in between and one which is in front of A2. So we have to find out those things. For that, using nth term formula, write down the A2. Means the formula for A2 is, what is A2? A2 is equals to A plus D, and what is given? This A2 is given as 38, therefore write this A plus D is equals to 38, mark this as first equation. And what was given next? A6. A6, how do you write? A plus 5D. How do you get this 5D? You know the formula AN is equals to A plus n minus 1 into D. In the place of n, if you substitute 6, A6 is equals to A plus 6 minus 1. 6 minus 1 is 5. So, every time you need not write that and substitute that, you can directly write this and you can do the problem, because if you go on writing every time, that becomes a time waste. So, a plus 5d is equals to how much given? 22. Mark this as 2. Now, here if you observe, these are two linear equations, a pair of linear equations with two variables, one is a and another one is d. So, from this what you have to do is, you can solve these pair of linear equations with two variables and find out a and d. If you find out a and d, you can write any number of terms in the AP. So, any term you can find in the AP. If you find what? If you know a, that is first term, if you know common difference, you can write any term in the AP. So, for this or for finding a1, a3, a4, a5, first of all you have to solve these two equations and then find out the values of a and d. So, there are methods, 3 or 4 methods for solving this pair of linear equations. I use the elimination method, means you out of these two variables, you have to eliminate one variable by adding or subtracting these two equations. Then you have to find out the remaining variable which is there. After eliminating one variable, you have to find out the remaining variable. Then after finding that variable, you have to again find out the variable which was eliminated first. Okay, let us see. So, I am writing like this: second equation minus first equation implies, means subtracting first equation from second equation. So, I am writing this second equation first. A plus 5d is equals to minus 22. A plus 5d is equals to minus 22, that is given. A plus d is equals to 38. Now, you have to subtract this second equation from first equation. To subtract, for subtracting, you have to change the sign of the variables for the second equation. So, this a is what? Minus a, this d became d, the sign of this d became minus d, the sign of 38 became minus. Okay. Now, subtracting a and minus a gets cancelled. So, why are we subtracting? You need to eliminate one variable. So, if you subtract these, there is a in the first equation and second equation. If you subtract one equation from the other, what happens? One variable gets eliminated. Okay, 5d minus d, d means 1d. So, what do you get? 4d is equals to, these two numbers are having same sign. If you have same sign, you have to add them and put the same sign. How much do you get? You get how much? 60 and put the same sign. 4d is equals to minus 60. From this you can write or you can get the value of d. So, d is equals to minus 60 by 4. If you transpose, it becomes divided by. Now, 4 1s are 4 15s are. D is equals to minus 15. Okay. So, we found the value of d. Now, after finding the value of d, you have to find the variable which was eliminated by substituting the value of d in any one of these equations. Let me take the first equation and substitute the value of d. So, I am writing like this: substituting the value of d in equation 1, right. What is the equation? A plus d is equals to 38. How much did you get? D is equals to minus 15. So, a minus 15 is equals to 38. Or you can write, if you don't understand this, a plus minus 15 is equals to 38. So, minus 15, this need to be transposed to get the value of a. So, a is equals to 38, this minus 15, if this is transposed to right hand side, what will become? That become plus 50. So, A is equals to 38 plus 15. How much is this? 53. Okay, that is 53. A is the first term is 53. D is minus 15. D, what is the value of D? D is minus 15. What do you understand? If the D comes negative, what do you understand? The progression value will be decreasing. So, the value further it get decreased because of this D. D is the common difference, which is minus 15. If you get a negative D value, the value of progression will get on decreasing. Okay. So, what you have to find is, now you found D value, you know the value of A. Now, what you have to find is A1. A1 is nothing but A. So, already this was completed. A1 is nothing but A, therefore A is equals 53. You have to find what? A3, A4 and A5. Let me find that for you. Let me erase this. Now, you can directly write this. What is A3? A3 is equals to A plus 2D. You should able to write directly like this. What is A? A is 53 plus 2 into, what is D? D is minus 15. Therefore, 53 minus 15. Did I do a mistake anywhere? 2 into 15 is not 15. 2 into minus 15 is 30. 53 minus 30 is 23. Okay, A3 is equals to 23. Now, A4. A4 is equals to, you have to write directly A plus 3D, which is equals to A is 53. Again, you substitute 3D. 3 into 15, 3 into minus 15, which is equals to 53, 3 15s are 45, minus 45, which becomes, what is the value of 53 minus 45, which is 8. Like this, you can find any term in the sequence if you know the first term and also the common difference. Okay. Okay. Next question, fourth question in the second exercise, which is important. Important means such model was given number of times in the annual examinations. That's why you try to understand this question and try to do if such questions come, okay, on your own. So, let us try to understand this question. Which term of the arithmetic progression is given is 78? Means, in that arithmetic progression, what is AP? AP is 3, 8, 13, 18 and so on. This is the arithmetic progression given. Somewhere in this sequence or this progression, you will get 78, and he is asking us to find out what is the term, what is the number of that term. Means, which term is that 78? Is that 5th one? Is that 10th one? Is that 11th one? Or any? Which term is that 78? So, how to find this? Simple. Using the nth term concept, we can find out the what term is 78. For that, you write down the given things first. What is the first term? A is given as 3. What is the common difference? Common difference, how do you find? A2 minus A1, which is equals to 8 minus 3, which is equals to 5. So, you have to write down the given things. A is equals to 3. From the progression, we can write down directly. D, you have to find the difference between two successive terms, that is 5. And then what? Let us assume let us assume that nth term of this series is 78. Let us assume that an is equal to 78, means this is a series in which the last term or nth term is 78, maybe last or maybe nth term is 78. If you assume that like that and substitute in the formula, you can find the value of n, means if you know this n, then you can tell that what term is that 78 in this series. Therefore, write, you know the formula an is equals to a plus n minus 1 into d. Now, substitute the values here. An is how much? 78 according to our assumption. A is how much? 3 plus n we do not know, n is the number of terms, that is what we have to find out here. If you find out this n, you can tell which term is that 78 in this series. D is how much? 5. Right, 78 is equals to 3 plus, multiply this, 5n minus 5. Okay, simplify the right hand side, 3 minus 5. So, 5n, write down 5n, 3 minus 5 is how much? Minus 2. Okay. Next, there is a linear equation in which only one variable is there, that is n. We can find out the value of n. Transpose the value of, transpose that minus 2 to this side. So, 5n is equals to, implies 5n is equals to 78 plus 2, implies n is equals to 5n is equals to 80, implies n is equals to 80 by 5, 5 ones are 5, 3 remains, 5 6 are 30, implies what? N is equals to 16. N is equal to 16 means in the place of n, if you substitute this 6, this becomes what? A16 is equals to 78. What does that mean? That 78 is the 16th term of this AP. Therefore, what can we conclude? Therefore, 78 is the 16th term. 78 is the 16th term of the given AP. Like this, there are, fourth question is that. I think you understand this. Let us move on to the fifth question. What is given in the fifth question? Let us see. I will read this fifth question for you. Find the number of terms in each of the following APs. So, fifth question, this is also important one. Every model you have to practice such models in the examples or from other books also. Find the number of terms in each of the following APs. So, first one, let us do this 7, 13, 19 and so on. Yeah. Try to understand the question. I am reading this once again. Find the number of terms. Number of terms is denoted by which letter? Small n. So, you know 4 terms. One is, you have to remember this thing, based on these 4 only these questions revolve. An, A, D and N. Based on these 4 values only these questions revolve. Means some of these will be given and you have to find the other one which are not given, that is it. So, from this question, first of all list out what was given or what is given and then try to find out the things which are not given. He is asking us to find out the number of terms, means what? is asking us to find out the value of n. So, first of all, write down the things given. So, by seeing this arithmetic progression, we can write the first term. First term, that is denoted by a, is given as 7. Next, d is common difference. Common difference is equals to a2 minus a1. a2 means 13 second term, minus a1 is 7. 13 minus 7, how much is this? This is 6. Now, what is this? 205. 205 is the last term, because here in this progression, this is the last term, means this is a finite progression. Therefore, the last term is we can identify last term, because this progression is ending with this 205. Now, we learnt in the previously that this last term can also be called as nth term. So, if n is something, you assume the value of anything, value of n for any number, you can assume this as last term, an or am. If n number of terms are there in a particular progression, that an becomes what? The last term. Suppose this is the nth term, this is the last term, you can assume this as the last term. If you assume that as last term or nth term, an is equals to 205, this is also given. Okay, what are the things given here? You try to understand. First one is first term. By looking the series, you can easily tell first term. And d what is common? Common difference. So, common difference you can find, assume this as nth term. Okay. Now, what are the things we know? We know an, we know a, we know d, and we don't know n, and is also asking us to find out that n. So, write down the formula. An is equals to a plus n minus 1 into d. Substitute the values. An is how much? 205 is equals to a is 7 plus n minus 1. You don't know n. Write down as it is n. D is how much? 6. Okay. Now, 205 is equals to, you write down implication sign, 7 plus multiply this 6 into n, 6n minus 6 implies 205 is equals to 7 minus 6 is 1 plus 6n. You transpose this 1 to this side, this becomes 6n is equals to 205 minus 1. What do you get? 6n is equals to 204. 6n is equals to 204. Now, n is equals to 204 by 6. Now, if you simplify this fraction, 6 1 ja, 6 3 ja 18, 2 remains, 2 4 24, 6 4 ja 24, n is equals to 34. What does that mean? This 205 term, 205 is A35, means 35th term is 205. That means in this progression 205 is the 35th term. Therefore, how many terms are there here? Here we can say 34th term. We can say that total number of terms in this progression is 34. Therefore, 34 terms are there in the above AP. 34 terms are there in the above AP. Now, moving on to 9th question. Here the question goes like this. the 17th term of an AP exceeds its 10th term by 7. Find the common difference. Try to understand this. 17th term of certain AP exceeds means what? To understand the word exceed means it is more than the 10th term. So 17th term is more than 10th term by 7. Means if you find out the difference between these two, that is 7. So exceed means more. How much more is this 17th term? It is 7 more than this 10th term. Then how do you write the relationship? Just by subtracting the smaller number from bigger number, you should get that 7. That is the thing. Okay. So if you understand that, that will be very easy. What is given, you write down in notation. 17th term is written as A17 minus 10th term is written as A10. If you subtract these two, means 17th term is more than 10th term. This is more. That's why he is saying or using the word exceeds. How much more? 7 more. So that is the equation you have to write down. If you understand this, that is very simple. Now you have to substitute the formulas. Means instead of A17 can be written as like what? A plus, if you substitute in the nth term formula, what does this become? A plus 17 minus 1 is 16D minus A plus, this is how much? 10 minus 1 is 9D is equals to 7. Is this the correct? Is anything wrong is here? Yes, this is a binomial expression. This is also binomial expression. But whenever you subtract a binomial expression from anything, if you just write a minus here and don't write any brackets, that means what? You are just subtracting the immediate term, not both these. So if you, the minus here means you have to subtract complete A10. What is A10? A plus 9D. So you have to put a bracket here. Whenever you come across a binomial or trinomial expression, if you have to subtract that expression, you have to put brackets. Then only you will able to get the correct answer. That is right. Okay. So here what happens to this? A plus 16D minus. So what happens if you remove these brackets? The signs will change. The terms get changed. The signs of these terms inside the brackets will get changed. Okay. Minus A and the plus becomes what? Minus 9D is equals to 7. And A minus A gets cancelled. 16D, 9D like terms. 16 minus 9 is how much? 7D is equals to 7. Implies D is equals to 7 by 7. 7 and 7 gets cancelled. D is equals to 1. What is asking us to find? Find the common difference. D is nothing but the common difference. Therefore, the common difference is 1. So very simple problem. If you understand the logic here, if you understand the meaning of this exceeds. Okay, let us move on to the next question. Okay. Okay, coming to the next question, that is 10th question. I am reading for you. 2 APs, arithmetic progressions, have the same common difference. Try to understand the question. 2 APs have the same common difference. Means the common difference in those 2 APs is same. Next, the difference between their 100th terms. The 100th term in the first AP and the 100th term in the second AP, the difference between these two terms is how much? 100. That is given there. The 100th terms between those two APs is 100. Now what is he asking us to find? What is the difference between their 1000th 1000th terms. The difference between the 100th terms is 100, then what is the difference between the 1000th terms? Here you have to understand clearly the common difference in these two APs is same. And what is one more thing given? The difference between the 200th terms is given, that is also 100. So you have to find the difference between their 1000th terms. So what are the given things we will write in the notation form? So let this is solution, common difference in both the arithmetic progressions be D. Let the common difference in both the APs be D. Let the first term in first AP be A, and let the first term in second AP be B. He told us the common difference is same, but first terms may vary. So I am assuming that the first term in APB small a and the first term in the second APB small b. Now what will be the AP? Let the AP's first AP. How much? Can you write like this? A first one, A plus D, A plus 2D, like that. This will be the first AP. What will be the second AP? You know the first term and common difference. So you can write down B comma B plus D, B plus 2D, and so on. Like this. Both the APs will be like this. Okay. What are given? Given things are 100th term, the difference between the 100th terms in both the APs is 100. Now I am going to write this in notation form. Difference between the 100th terms means the 100th term of A 100 minus suppose B 100 is given as 100. Because this is starting from A, I took that as A 100th term. This is second one is starting with B, I wrote this as B 100. Means 100th term of first AP minus 100th term of second AP, how much you are getting? 100. This is according to the problem which is given. Now substitute the values of A 100 and B 100. Now A 100 is how much? A plus 99D. How did you get this? First term is A, 100 minus 1 is 99D, minus B plus 99D. Here also D. Why? Because D is the common difference which is same, that is given in the problem, which is equals to 100. Now after removing the brackets, what do you get? A plus 99D minus B minus 99D is equals to 100. Let me erase this. Right. So 99D and 99D gets cancelled. This implies A minus B is equals to 100. What does this mean? The difference between the first terms of the two progressions is 100. What is he asking us to find out? He is asking us to find out a 1000th term minus b 1000th term, which is equals to how much? Let us try to solve this. A 1000 means what? A plus 999d minus b plus 999d is equals to, you have to find out that. Yeah, no need of writing this. Implies this, okay, remove the brackets. A plus 999d minus b minus 999d. This and this get cancelled. Again, what do you get? You get a minus b, which is equal to 100. Because a minus b 100 given means 100th terms, the difference between two 100th terms is 100. From that you got a minus b is equals to 100, means the difference between the first terms is 100. So, from this we can conclude, if the common difference of any two progressions is same, then the difference between any two same terms, means 100th terms or 1000th terms or 2000th terms, is same as the difference between the first terms. How much is the difference between the first term of the two APs? That is what we obtain when you subtract any two same terms of the two series, means 100th terms, 1000th terms, 20th terms, any terms like that. So, that is the conclusion we have to observe from this problem. Okay. Okay, coming to the next question, that is 11th one. This is also important model which came many times in the annual examinations. So, let me read this. How many 3-digit numbers are divisible by 7? How many 3-digit numbers are divisible by 7? Okay, what does that mean? 3-digit numbers. How many are there? And in those 3-digit numbers, how many are divisible by 7? So, where do the 3-digit number starts? I think they start from 100. You know, no? 100 is a 3-digit number which is the lowest 3-digit number. Before that 99, which is a 2-digit number. 100 is a 3-digit number. So, 3-digit number starts from 100. And where does that end? So, these are all the 3-digit numbers, and in these 3-digit numbers you have to find out how many numbers are divisible by 7. So, first of all, for that what you have to do is, you have to find out the first value which is divisible, first 3-digit number that is divisible by 7, and the last 3-digit number that is divisible by 7. So, you have to find out the list of numbers which are divisible by 7, and then because they form an AP, you can find out easily the number of terms in that AP, that is, find out the value of n by using what? Using again the nth term formula. So, our duties are to solve this problem, such type of problems. Maybe he may ask you how many 3-digit numbers are divisible by 3, by 6, any question, the question may change, but the procedure should be the same, procedure is the same. So, out of these 3-digit numbers, if he asks us to find out the numbers, the total numbers which are divisible by 7, you have to list out the numbers which are divisible by 7. So, I am trying to list out the numbers which are divisible by 7. 100, first one is 100. Is 100 divisible by 7? No. 101? No. 102? No. 103? No. 104? No. And 105? 105, just by looking or seeing into the numbers, you should understand whether that is divisible by 7 or not. This number comes in table what? 15th table. 15 sevens are 105. 7 5s are 35, 7 1s are 7 3 7. So, by if you know tables very well, you just can tell which numbers are divisible by or what numbers. Okay. So 105 is our first number which is divisible by 7. Next, can you tell the next number? Simple. If you go on adding the 7, you will get the next number which is divisible by 7. 105 plus 7 is 112. If you have any doubt, check this. 7 1s are 7, 4 remains, 4 2 42, 7 6 is 42. Yes, simple. In your lower classes, if you don't remember the table, third table or fourth table, what did you do? You just added the number of that table. Means if you want to write down the third table, you have to add third table. You have to write down the seventh table, you have to add 7 to the previous one to get the next number in that table. Then in the same manner, 105 plus 7 is 112, 112 plus 7 is 119, and so the values go. Then one more thing you have to find is the last digit which is divisible, last 3-digit number which is divisible by 7. So for that you have to do a division. Just simply divide this last 3-digit, highest 3-digit number by 7. 7 1s are 7, 2, drop down 9, 7 4s are 28, 1, so after subtracting you get 1, drop down this 9, 7 2s are 14, so remainder is 5. Means 999 is not divisible by 7 because that is 5 more. This is having a 5 excess. If this excess value is removed from this 999, you will get a number which is divisible by 7. That means 999 minus 5 is equals to 994. If you check this, whether that is divisible by 7 or not, 7 1s are 7 here, what happens? Instead of 9, you get 4, 14 and 14, you get the remainder 0. Therefore, the last 3-digit value which is divisible by 7 is 994. What are these? These are all the list of numbers which are divisible by 7 out of these 3-digit numbers. So, I am writing a list of 3-digit numbers which are divisible by 7 are these: 105, 112, 119, so on, 994. Now, if you carefully observe this, how did you get these numbers? By adding 7. This is the definition of AP. Therefore, this list or this sequence is in arithmetic progression. If you understand that this is an arithmetic progression, you can use the nth term formula to find out the number of terms. You have to find out what is he asking after all. He is asking us that how many 3-digit, these are all the 3-digit numbers we listed, but we did not count them, and you should not count like that orally, because you know some formulas, you know some knowledge about this series arithmetic progressions, you should not count like a layman. Okay, what you have to do is use those formulas, use the knowledge you learnt. Okay, what did you learn? You know nth term, and by using nth term you can find out what? N. If this is assumed as nth term and this is first number or first term, you can find difference. You have to find, using all those things, you have to find n. N means number of terms, means then you, by finding the number of terms, that is the answer he is asking us. Okay, let me see. A is equals to 105, D is equals to A2 minus A1, which is equals to 112 minus 105, which is equals to 7, and assume An is equals to 994. Okay, by assuming that only we can do this thing. So, write down the formula here. An is equals to A plus n minus 1 into D. You have all these values except n. You have to find out that n. So, substitute in this. What is An? 994 is equals to A. A is 105 plus n minus 1 into D. D is how much? 7. Okay. 994 is equals to 105 plus 7n minus 7. If you multiply that, implies 994 is equals to 105 minus 7. How much do you get? So, 98 plus 7. Okay. So, transposing this 98 to this side, 7n is equals to 994 minus 98. 7n is equals to 900 and how much? 94 minus 98. So, 890. How much do you get? 994 minus 98. So, 896. N is equals to 896 by 7. 7 1s are 7, simplifying 1 9, 7 2s are 14. Okay, 7 remains. 5 remains. 5 6 56, 7 8s are 56. Therefore, N is equals to 128. What is this N represents? N is the number of terms in this series, in this progression. What is this progression? These are the numbers which are divisible by 7. These are the 3-digit numbers which are divisible by 7. How many are they? They are 128. Therefore, so if anybody asks such a questions, you have to list the possibility and list out the particular numbers which are divisible by those number which he is asking, and find out the number of terms using the nth term formula. Okay, do you understand this? Okay, let us stop here. We will meet in the next class. Thank you.